Freddie is a personal friend. I can call myself his legal counsel, and I can call myself his therapist. You understand? So I decided not to speak to this, but obviously his wife made this wide range allegation of a particular married woman that Freddie has been sleeping with even before marriage. Nothing like that happened. Absolutely nothing like that. Peggy is trying to push a narrative that she left her marriage because the husband was cheating. This marriage has ended before now. It's not today. You understand? In the course of your separation, you had accused multiple women. Just very recently, you unfollowed Syrian Martins, the Bayelsa Nollywood actress, accusing her of having a thing or two to do with your husband. You were on call with her. She was with her man, and she told you, Madam, you are on speaker. You said you had evidences that she was sleeping with your husband. And she told you she was with her man. You should please bring your evidences. The marriage has broken down irretrievably. The next thing is you're writing an epistle how there was a particular married woman. Does the married woman not have a name? Mind you, this is Nigeria, and he who alleges must prove. Does the married woman not have a name? Or Freddie Leonard goes around sleeping with married woman? Because you've accused 4 people that I can count 4 people, including the Nollywood actress Syrian Martins. Told him what to do. It's left for him if he wants to do it. He should sue you. You have to reveal the identity of that married woman.
Now, the defense of adultery, or the claim for adultery as contained in Section 15 of the Matrimonial Causes Act, has to do with a claim that should be raised when an application for dissolution of marriage is made by either of the parties. Now, by virtue of Section 15 sub 2, the law provides that one of the grounds that a marriage should be dissolved is that the marriage had broken down irretrievably, and that the reason why the marriage broke down was because one of the spouses was guilty or is guilty of adultery, and the other spouse finds it intolerable to continue to be in that marriage, or the fact that the spouse who is guilty of adultery is so guilty that he has abandoned his wife for a period of not less than 1 year as a result. Now, practically, one claiming adultery in a matrimonial proceeding is quite difficult to prove, because even though the law allows that proving a claim for adultery can be done by circumstantial evidences like meeting them behind closed doors, like meeting them in hotels, finding out, like presenting communication between them that indicated that they had had intercourse or they had made out, other circumstantial evidences, even at that, from my practice and experience, I find it difficult to prove this claim for adultery, because when I ask my clients to bring proof, did you just see him sitting down with the said person, or did you just see him talking to the said person? Of course, you cannot convince the judge. What people don't know in litigious matters is that for you to get judgment, or for judgment to be entered in your favor, you have to convince the court to actually give judgment in your favor. all this proof, he who alleges must prove all this thing. The summary of it all is that the judge who is going to give judgment was not there. He's not living in your house. He didn't follow you to go and see your husband or your wife with another person or another partner. You know, you have to tell him something and show him something to convince him that this thing I'm claiming is true. And by experience from different clients, I have, in most cases, it's just in out of 10, it's just one or two, you know. And the proof we used was another marriage, you know, pictures of the traditional marriage with the other party. And that was fact. So far I have not seen any proof of catching them pants down or catching them behind closed doors. I've not seen. They just, one of the parties will just be claiming and claiming, and when I say, please, can you give me something to show, we find out that it is difficult. They are not able to provide that evidence, the evidence required by law to substantiate your proof. So my advice to Peggy Ovure in this instance, in her hypothetical case as posted on her Instagram page, is that for a party or for a spouse in a matrimonial proceeding to prove divorce, or sorry, to prove adultery, that spouse must first be sure. It shouldn't be proving from hearsay, that somebody told you that she saw your husband with somebody else and you just concluded, you know, or you saw the person told you and you went and, or you saw your husband talking with the person. Of course, you know that your husband, the fact that he's married to you, the law did not say that he shouldn't talk to another female, you know, or he shouldn't talk to any other person apart from you. So the burden of proving adultery is very huge, and you have to be very sure before you approach the court. However, if you insist that it is adultery that is making you to file your action for dissolution of marriage, and you are so sure, then circumstantial evidences, like I just said, either pictures of their traditional marriage or pictures of them pants down or pictures of, you know, messages that indicates adulterous acts, should be presented to the court. Otherwise, there are other options. So what I'm trying to say is that by virtue of Section 15 of the Matrimonial Causes Act, apart from adultery, there are other reasons, or there are other ways you can bring your claim for dissolution of marriage and still succeed, so that you don't stand the chance of losing your case because you do not have sufficient evidence. That is, if the woman in this instance wants to actually leave her marriage, or if she wants to file for dissolution of marriage. And peradventure you have sufficient proof in this instance for adultery, in your application you can ask for damages. Damages as a result of emotional breakdown, damages as a result of, you know, the thoughts or the whole affair between your spouse and the other party. You can also ask for damages apart from your application for maintenance or settlement of property or custody of children. You can ask for damages as a result of adultery. And then finally, for the said woman in this hypothetical case as posted by Peggy Ofuri, I would advise you to get a very sound family lawyer. Yes, peradventure you want to take legal steps, you need to get a very sound family lawyer and provide your lawyer with every necessary, both details that you think are unnecessary. Please provide your lawyer the maximum support to ensure that you don't just succeed in your claim, but you get the requisite and adequate remedies therefrom. I hope this helps. I want to thank you all for having me and enjoy the rest of your day.